Hello, 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 and welcome to today's episode of Her Version. This podcast is dedicated to sharing stories of struggle and triumph, a platform that allows individuals to tell their truth in order to inspire and uplift others. For those of you that are new to this podcast and like content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow, like, and share. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria. Let's jump right in. Hello, and thank you for joining us today for this episode of Her Version. Welcome those that are already jumping on to listen to Miss Candace's story. The Her Version podcast is built on storytelling and the understanding that many times our greatest learning experiences come from listening to other people's stories. Today, I have Miss Candace Sheppard on here with us to share her story on how she was able to slowly grow her voice and her confidence. She no longer apologizes for her power. She is the founder of Confidence That Converts and is here to help you destroy limiting beliefs that are hindering your future so you can create a powerful one. You know, one of the things that people seem to be always striving for is whatever success is to them. Ooh. You know, they're listening right now and they're like, she's successful. That's successful. And everybody's different. Everybody looks at people differently. Everyone views it differently. What's your take on success? What does success mean to you?
Success to me means being in complete ownership of my time and freedom, right? Being able to steward my energy in such a way that it continues to replenish me on a daily basis. And money coming on the back end of living actualized like that, right? Like no apologies.
Yeah.
When I first started my business years ago, my very first business, I went in thinking that I had something to prove and I needed to be a certain way and I needed to work myself like a dog to achieve all of these things. And to see how far I've come, like, you know, it's so incredibly powerful to be in a space where you don't have to apologize for who you are and what you want.
Yeah.
It's so powerful. And the most powerful part is watching my daughter.
Yeah.
My daughter is just, she didn't grow up in any of the chaos, and I get a glimpse of how beautiful life would have been through her.
Yeah.
My daughter at 14 started her own business, you know, and that was even redeeming in itself, because for a long time I felt like a lot of the choices I made to do life with her father and losing my own health was going to compromise her quality of life. It only added to it.
Wow.
And now she is having conversations with me about her friends and what she wants in life. And that is success. That my own self-actualization is profoundly activating and actualizing others around me. That, and my hope for everyone listening is that they get a taste of that over and over and over again every day. You know, there's so much gratitude and many moments where I still have to do work. I hope everyone catches that, right? I still have to do the work, right? You come to a new level of doing anything, those old wounds are going to come back up. You got to deal with them. And so I still have those moments, but this is what success is to me. And I'm learning, which is really interesting. The more successful I become, I'm learning to make space for it. Right? There's these moments where you almost feel like, oh my gosh, this is going really well. Like I'm not even used to this. There's grace for that too. Like a lot of visionaries are terrified of what it will mean to be successful because they know it will create clarity on who's who and what they want, and change is going to come on the back end of that. But being able to embrace that success in all the things I previously shared with you, for sure.
That's awesome. Absolutely. I before I close up, I want to ask, a lot of the individuals that are here watching are females who are going through some stuff. A lot of us are going through some stuff. What would be some advice that you'd give to specifically a female who's struggling with her identity or becoming her authentic self? What would you say to her?
Powerful question. And it's likely not going to be what many are going to expect me to say. It's the power of learning pace.
Oh,
As visionary women, women, I truly believe, are hardwired for growth, right? And nurturing and wanting to make things better. I believe that we do influence like no one else in the world can, right? These are just things that naturally come to us. Our desire to share and be with people and to take care of them in so many different ways. And it doesn't have to look conventional the way you do this. I want to point that out, right? But pacing ourselves, we are so quick to want to be there. We just want to be there. And I want to be in
yes. Okay. Yes. Yes.
We want to be there right now.
Yeah.
And I promise you, if you learn to pace yourself through the process, there are so many beautiful lessons and promises to yourself that you will fulfill and things that you will propel yourself towards just by giving yourself grace to get through this moment. Pacing yourself, and I say that because I came up in an environment that conditioned me to believe that the only way I was going to escape was to push myself to get there now. If you pace yourself, you will date yourself in the healthiest way possible. You will spend time with yourself in the healthiest way possible. And the best way I can liken it, if I were to give an analogy, is to think about the birthing process, right? When you get pregnant, right? All my mamas can understand this. When you get pregnant, there's so many seasons and changes and transitions and things you are going through. You're like, I just want to be there now. But the interesting part is, if you were there now, what damage would that do to your baby? This thing you're getting ready to bring into the world, right? You don't want to.
Yes.
You get it. You get it.
That was so good.
You don't want to prematurely bring what you have next or what's coming into this life for you in any area. You don't want to prematurely bring. There's so many complications and so much pain and grief. And this is not to minimize those of my mamas who have had preemies. This is to celebrate you. Look at what you've been able to overcome. If you're doing that right now, or if you've already done it, it brings tears to your eyes because you remember how painful that process was.
Yeah.
Right. And it even feel like you missed out on some things. But look at how what you've gone through is going to powerfully affect so many listening right now.
Yeah.
They're recognizing the importance of pace.
Yeah.
Going through the process. Please, I tell my students this, as an analogy as well, let that baby grow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Get to know who's in the room with you, right? Your inner child, the conscious woman who's trying to figure things out but doesn't have all the answers. And then the powerful visionary that's being called out of you. You need all of them.
Yeah.
You need all of them. Denying any part of you is what makes it hard for you to be authentic. And I charge you to even think about wanting to run after being genuine, because the term authentic is also something that sometimes we find hard to associate with when it's being overused. Same vein though, right? In sync, your genuine self, that can't come up if you're not willing to spend time, even in dating, right?
Yeah.
No one wants to be in the club with the guy who can't take no for an answer. Like, he's constantly chasing you and he's pushing you. And you're like, please, this is such a repelling experience, right? You just don't even begin to understand. But it's because he keeps pushing for something that is just not right. But how much more do we enjoy the process when it's unfolding and we see that person wants to spend time with us and they're taking their time and they're not rushing you? Even with cooking, baby, I'm a foodie. I don't know if you are, Sabrina.
Yeah, I
But
am.
I love me some food. Okay,
Yes.
listen, we have to do dinner one time and just like go over all the things of story and food and kids and life, right?
Yeah.
But the
My
best
fiance will
food,
ask me sometimes, why are you chasing wealth so much? What's going on with you and the wealth? And I'm like, food. I
eat.
want to eat good food.
That is
That's it.
that's
That's
success
it.
to us. It's that simple. Okay, right? When you think about that, right? Us foodies, we want to savor things.
Yeah.
We want to enjoy it. When you think of how we want to pace ourselves through that, and when we cook food low and slow, it's always the best.
Yeah. You're right.
So if you're struggling, baby, know that in so many ways, marriage, family, health, business, loving myself, I've been there. And giving yourself permission to find your pace every day.
Yeah.
That is where you learn to be the most authentic, because then you also start recognizing who's pushing you and who's not making room for you.
Yeah.
You start realizing what is a hell yes and what is a hell no. And then you can start disqualifying things. And that's what helps. It's like full body wine, right? You know, that crock pot chicken that's just stewed for 6 hours is falling off the bone. It's amazing because it had time.
Yeah.
Give yourself the gift of time.
I love that. I love that. What a way to close out. That's perfect. And it's something we all struggle with.
Listen.
Yeah, we all struggle.
Listen.
Not in all areas. Not in all areas. Right? We're not pointing fingers.
Yes.
But in
so
some areas of our life, we're getting anxious.
That part.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. This was absolutely phenomenal.
So
I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you spending time with us, telling a little bit of your story and giving us some insight. Do you have any closing thoughts before I close up here?
Absolutely. You want to build confidence that converts, like the kind that changes your life, your business, your relationships, all the things in this world you want to have influence on. It starts with having diamond sharp clarity on your image and identity, looking for things that are in congruence with what you value. And then, as Sabrina always talks about, right, courageously taking action.
Yeah.
That's what creates confidence. And it's not a feeling, it's a belief, right? And beliefs are built with action and testing and pacing ourselves. And in some instances, pushing ourselves, right?
Yeah.
That's what I want to leave everyone in. As long as you're doing that, you're going to foster that brilliant bond between all the aspects of who you are, and it's going to powerfully move people around you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Yes. For those of you that are watching live, we so appreciate you being here and spending time with us. For those of you that feel pulled to check out Candace and everything she has to offer, her website is right above her face area. She has all of the things that she offers, plus all of her social media, if you would like to follow her. If you're watching and you got this far on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay wherever you are so that we know where you are watching us and we can send you a little heart of love. Until next time, thank you so much for joining us here on Her Version. This community is expanding every single day and is filled with females who are striving to do better than they did yesterday. For those of you that are new to this podcast and like content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow, share, and like. If you have a story to share, please make sure you reach out to me. I would be more than happy to share your story on this podcast. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria, and I'm so grateful to be here sharing a platform that allows people to share their truth and inspire others. Do something awesome today. Much love.